Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me for this short yoga practice to celebrate the new moon in the sign of Leo. Leo is a fire sign represented by the lion and is one of courage, loyalty and confidence. This is a good time for creating great friendships, to be joyful. However, there is a tendency for us to become maybe slightly more stubborn or arrogant. So in today's yoga practice, we'll be working with enhancing and stabilizing these qualities by building fire and dedication through work of the solar plexus, but also to balance the confidence and communication by working more with opening the throat chakra. We want to visualize the power building within us like a lion's roar, but to still ensure we are conscious of what we pour back out into the world. So if you wanted to bring along any crystals to this practice, you could bring along citrine, sunstone or turquoise can be lovely for communication. You could also bring along some orange or lemon essential oils to complement this practice. When you're ready, let's begin. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me to celebrate this Leo new moon yoga practice. So remember that when we're taking this practice today, of course we are going to be using some of that fiery elements with the solar plexus, getting a little bit of that motivation, that heat, but at the same time we're also looking to create that freedom of expression through the throat. So we will be bringing some awareness to the muscles and the tension around the neck as well. And I want you to really focus on audible breathing if you can through today's practice. So gentle restriction to the back of the throat as you create that ocean-like sound to your breathing, almost like a very subtle lion's roar to help open up that space. So we're actually going to start today with Kapalabhati Pranayama. We're going to do 2 rounds, and although this is a breathing technique, it also is fantastic for waking up that core strength. It also aids in digestion and starts to build that fire around our abdomen. However, there is a contraindication that if you get dizzy during this, if you have sort of high blood pressure and you start to notice the effects of increased heart rate, I would maybe just recommend skipping this or just do 1 round and slow it down a little bit. So essentially what we're going to be doing is breathing in through the nose. We're going to feel the belly expand, and then as we exhale, we're going to take 20 short, sharp exhalations as the abdomen contracts and we force the exhalation out. Now it is important, there is an inhalation, but it's quite subtle that you're probably not going to hear it, but you're going to still be breathing, okay? It's not completely like you're hyperventilating in this breath work. So some people like to bring their hands to their belly and others prefer to bring them to their thighs or to their knees if you're in cross legs position. But do your best just to relax as you do this. So just closing off your eyes, relax your breathing, just take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale. Now this time we're going to inhale, feel the belly, feel the lungs expand. And as we exhale, we'll begin. Finish your exhalation. Now if you feel any dizziness, just breathe normally, breathe regularly for this next round. Otherwise, finish your exhalation. Then take a full breath in, full deep inhalation. And as we exhale, begin. Finish your exhalation. Take a breath and let it go. Now just let your breath regulate, taking long inhalation through the nose, feel the chest, the lungs expand. And now as you exhale, feel a gentle engagement of your low belly, and this will help to create a little bit of support around your low back, also to help stimulate the solar plexus and a little bit of that abdominal work as well. So we're just going to start with the neck stretch. You could stay kneeling or cross legs, whatever feels best for you. And just tent your fingers to either side of the hips. Release the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Maybe press the palm of the left hand towards the floor as you feel that left shoulder, the left side of the throat opening. Bring your chin to chest, open through the back of the neck, and then bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Either stay with this or maybe palm of the right hand, drops down to the floor. Stretching through the right side shoulder, the right side of the throat. and then chin to chest. And then half neck rolls, chin towards one shoulder, or full neck rolls, chin all the way back. And then over to the opposite shoulder, chin to chest, and then do one in the opposite direction. Really opening through the front of the throat, chin to the opposite shoulder, and then chin towards your chest. Bring your head back to neutral, and then from either kneeling or cross legs position, interlace your fingers behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades as you once again lift your gaze up. Feel this through the jaw, through the throat. And then release your hands, bring your palms forward and make your way into a tabletop position. So we're going to come into a heart melting pose. So keep your knees under your hips, breathing in, and then breathing out, start to walk your hands forward. Release your forehead, chin, or even your chest down towards the floor. And this is a lovely Leo pose. Okay, Leos are fantastic for building that friendship, that loyalty, that compassion. And so we are opening our heart space to embody some of that lovely loyalty that the Leo energy holds, as well as getting a gentle stretch through the throat and through the abdomen as well. And then walk your hands back, wrists under shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Inhale to cow pose. And then as we exhale, I want you to work on the engagement of your abdomen, hugging that navel in as you bring your chin to your chest into cat pose. Do that just once more today. And exhale. Now inhale to neutral. You could do that again, or this time bring your right arm alongside your right ear, left leg towards the back, lifting your left leg up, inhaling. And then as you exhale, bring the elbow towards the knee as you protract your scapula, chin to chest. Do that once more. Extend. Exhale, contract and round. Inhale, extend. And then as you exhale, bring yourself back into a tabletop position. Inhale, left arm alongside the left ear, right leg back, breathing in. As you exhale, elbow to knee, touch as you protract your scapula around your spine. Inhale to reach, and stay strong through that right hand. As you exhale, contract. Inhale to extend, and then exhale, tabletop position. Take a breath. Exhale. Lovely audible breathing. Bring your wrists slightly forward of your shoulders, tuck your toes under as you bring yourself back into downward facing dog. So pedal out the heels or press the heels down. Most importantly is, again, we're opening through the chest and letting the head be heavy. So here we're finding that free breathing. Neck is nice and long, and maybe you can even gaze towards your navel. Now, more than likely you're not going to actually see your navel, but you're working in that direction of looking towards your solar plexus. Okay, so even if you're imagining that you're staring through your own body, that's the intention. Now as we inhale, lift the right leg up and back. As you exhale, bend your right knee. Just take a little circle of the ankle or the hip, nice opening. Inhale, right leg long. And then as you exhale, bend your right knee. See if you can bring your knee to your nose. Hold it there for just a second. Feel the fire in your belly. And then step between your hands. So don't worry if it doesn't get that connection. As close as you can to that connection. Exhale here. And then as we inhale, we're going to lift into crescent lunge. So squeeze through that left glute. Feel a little bit of the fire building here. Inhaling. Exhale, warrior two. Turn the gaze towards the middle finger of the right hand. Now we're going to make that lovely space on the front line of the body as well as through the throat. So inhale, flip the palms, and then from here, bring your left hands to left thigh, right arm up and over. You could also reach your left hand towards your right hip, lifting your chin. Inhaling. And then as we exhale, release the hands, and we're going to pinwheel into revolved runner's lunge. So left hand to the inside of the right foot, right arm up. So we're twisting. And you can imagine this twist is being initiated from the space just at the bottom of the ribs or just above the belly button. And then you have the option to stay with this strong through the left hand, or you could move into a side plank by stepping your right foot on top of your left or planting it down to the floor just a little bit wider. Keep lifting those hips. You could always come down onto that left forearm if you're feeling pressure. Little squeeze of your glutes, making sure those hips are nice and engaged. Inhaling. As we exhale, bring your right hand down into a plank position and then keep protracting those scapula, okay? You could always do this with your knees on the floor. Find that protraction, like your yoga mat is a door and you're trying to open it as best you can. Breathing in. I know it's a little bit of effort here. Exhale. You could lower through knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. As you inhale, lift into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhale, soften through the neck. Bring yourself back into downward facing dog. Take a breath in and exhale fully. Now as we inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Exhale, bend your left knee, little circle of the ankle or the hip. As you feel the heat building, that fire building, inhale to reach the left leg up and back. As you exhale, shoulders over your wrist, knee to nose. See if you can hold. 3, 2, 1. And then step your left foot between your hands. Feel stable. Then when you're ready, inhale, lift up into crescent lunge. Squeeze that back glute. And you should start to feel the heat building, especially if you're in a little heat wave like we are in the UK at the moment. Inhaling. Exhale. Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale through center and then pinwheel, right arm down to the inside of the left foot, left arm up for revolved runner's lunge as we exhale. And then again, you can stay with this, or you could bring that foot back a few inches, make it a little bit more challenging, or left foot stacks on top of or in front of your right for side plank. Keep those hips nice and high. Inhaling, exhaling, bring that left hand down. Option to skip your vinyasa or lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And exhale fully. Now as you inhale, look forward, step or jump your feet to outside of your hands into a garland pose. And we're going to move into our, I forgot the name, crow pose. Oh, I forgot the name for a second then. So a little bit of fire, a little bit of fun. Absolutely no obligation to take this. You can stay with your garland pose, working your elbows towards your knees, your thumbs towards your sternum. But if you want to give it a go, hands to the floor, shoulder width, fingers spread nice and wide as you lift your hips up. If you're pretty new to arm balances, I would recommend starting with your knees and your feet hips width distance or even wider, and bringing your knees pretty close to your elbows as you start to shift forward. 1 foot, 2 feet, maybe hover both feet off the floor. Keep your gaze forward towards the front edge of your yoga mat. If you've been doing this a while, bring your toes and heels together. Lift onto the balls of the feet, knees to armpits, and see if you can come up with both heels towards your sit bones. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Come down to your garland pose. Just release those wrists, give them a little bit of movement. Calm your breathing, feel that fire, maybe fan yourself a little bit. Good. And then from here, we're gonna make our way into boat pose. So sit down. If you need to come forwards to sit down, that's fine, of course.
If you have any tailbone pain, keep your toes light to the floor with your hands to the backs of the thighs. Otherwise, bring your shins towards parallel with the yoga mat. Maybe arms alongside the legs, fingers squeezed together, or maybe straighten the legs, looking towards the toes. Shaking is okay. Shaking is good. Stoking that fire. Okay, you can rest. You could do another one of those if you wanted to. As long as you don't have low back pain or tailbone pain, you could also roll and see if you can catch. So from this position, from boat pose, roll back and see if you can roll back up and catch it before you fall forwards. You can use your hands to do this, maybe between 3 and 5 rounds, and just see if you can catch yourself at that point where you're balancing just behind your sit bones. I'm going to do one more. Hold, if you can, for 3, 2, 1, and then option to lower down through low boat. Extend the legs, lower down, press your low back into the mat, and then lower all the way down. And then from here, hug your knees in. Just release through the back body first, and then bring your heels just in front of your sit bones, knees and ankles hips width distance, arms alongside the body, palms down. As you inhale, lengthen your tailbone, start to lift those hips up. So although this is a little activation through the backs of the legs, maybe even through the glutes and a little bit through the spine, we're actually looking more to open through the front line. So imagine that you're finding space around the abdomen, bringing your chest towards your chin, but then opening the throat by bringing your chin away from your chest, still breathing with sound, and then very gently lower down one vertebrae at a time. And from here, just bring those feet maybe a tiny bit wider, lower the knees over to the right, arms to cactus position. Inhale through center, and lower the knees over towards the left. Inhale through center, and then bring the legs out towards the front corners of your mat. Release your arms alongside the body, palms open, closing off your eyes. And just slowing down the breathing, finding a heaviness. And while we rest here, you can bring some awareness towards your solar plexus, towards that inner fire. And a little bit of awareness towards your throat. Maybe you can even feel your breath as you lay here. And we can imagine this exchange of energy between the solar plexus and the throat, creating this power within our bodies. This power, this passion, this fierce loyalty and courage. And then the beauty is we then get to share that with others. So imagine it coming back around towards the throat as we express ourselves and create clear, loving communication with the world outside. And in turn, we listen. We don't just talk at people, but this open communication and reception to those around us allows that energy to circulate again. So from the throat, we take in that communication, and all of those wonderful lessons, we embody those in our solar plexus, our sense of self, as we build courage, confidence, loyalty. And it continues to circulate in this way, building power, building momentum for as long as the sun shines. However you're spending this Leo season, this Leo new moon, I wish you all the best. I wish you truly joyful, courageous, ambitious, and
It's just overall beautiful time during this summer. However you're planning on spending your Leo season, maybe have a little bit of time for reflection, a little bit of time for journaling as to how you want to spend some of this energy, maybe how you can be and embody that courageous energy this season. Thank you all so much for joining me as you go forward, wishing you peace in your thoughts, your words, and your heart. Namaste.